Hello, this is the Multipaw speaking. In this video, I'm going to show you how I make a watercolor mixing chart. I actually didn't plan on making a video on this topic, so I didn't even think of recording how I started making the mixing chart. So you just have to bear with me talking about it instead of actually showing you what I did. Okay, first of all, what paper should you use? Most experts would recommend using the paper that you would mainly use to paint. But at this stage of my watercolor journey, I'm still exploring options for supplies. I have tried the cheapest paper like Arto and to the best, most recommended paper like Arches. I do love Arches, but I'm a girl on a budget, so I need to keep my options open. For this for this instance, I use Simi Art paper. Simi Art is a Chinese company and you can buy their stuff from Shopee and Temu. They have a wide range from pens to paints to paper, all at a low price but with quite a decent quality. Not perfect but decent enough. Like in this example, I did experience some dotting when I was swatching the paints. Like here, this is very obvious, and at the bottom here. So yeah, there are some setbacks. And I wonder also if it's also because this paper is about 2 years old. I keep this in a Ziploc bag. This is the original packaging that it came in, like this type of bag. So maybe I'm thinking I should put a silica gel in the bag to be safe. Do leave a comment if you know anything about this. Does time affect the condition of the paper, or is it just the quality of the paper itself? So do let me know if you know anything about this. Anyway, let's get back to the mixing chart. The first step of making this mixing chart is drawing a grid. In this example, I drew a 1 inch by 1 inch grid because I think that's the size that fits the most for this paper. This is a 16K size paper, about 10/5/8 of an inch or 27 centimeters, and 7/5/8 of an inch or 19.5 centimeters. So that's just the grid that I choose. Okay, and it works out that I can get for 7/10 grid here per paper. And since I chose like 10 colors each for red, yellow and blue, I have to of course use a second piece of paper to fit everything. After I finish drawing the grid, I write down the name of the paints at the top and on the side using a waterproof pen. In this case, I use the outline pigment pen 0.3 because I need to write small, so I need a fine pen. Okay, and then I also swatch each of the names with the paints just to remind me what color they are. And then I start mixing. There will come a time when you make a mistake, like swatching, putting the wrong mix at the wrong box, which is what happened to me a few times actually. So if that happens, what I did was I just took a different paper, cut out a 1x1 size paper and paste it on the mistake, and then swatch it again. While making the purple mixing chart, it finally occurred to me that I should record the process. Let's see what I did. Now I'm going to fill in this box, which is a mix of cadmium red hue by Delarogne and the royal blue by Shinhan, which is in this tin here. So I would usually start with the wicker color for in this pairing. I would think it's the cadmium red hue because I find that the two Delarogne paints that I have is not that strong. So I start with filling a well with the red color, and then my Shinhan is here. So I would just grab a bit first, just a little bit, and then see whether it changes or not. So if I don't see enough change of the red hue, I will just add a bit more, because how it works is the first I would swatch 3 times, and the top one would be the mix that is dominantly red. So this, which is what I'm doing now. Okay, that's more red and a little bit of blue, and the next one I'm going to try to achieve a 50-50 mix, but again it's not going to be exact. So what I'm thinking, I just mix more blue in this mix, just enough to change the color, but don't go too far. So I think that's a good variation enough, and I just swatch that one. And then for the third bar, I would try to get more blue into the mix. Okay, so now I think I put in too much blue. So just grab a little bit of the cadmium red. So that is enough change from the original blue. So I can get an idea of what it looks like if I mix in a bit of red. I'm aware that this may not be the best way to do a mixing chart, but the point of me doing this is I just want to get to know my colors, and I also want to practice mixing colors. You know how to adjust the mix to get it more red or to get it more blue in this example. And also I want to get used to getting the right consistency of paint, because I find that when I'm doing this mixing chart, I keep getting a very watery mix, like I think most people would call it the tea consistency. So I want to try to achieve the coffee consistency when doing the mixing chart. I'm thinking this is like a practice for me as a beginner in watercolor. Now you're seeing me in the midst of making the chart for greens. Here my palette has filled up, but I didn't wash it straight away. I used the leftover paints to do some mark making. I got this idea from watching Jackie Hernandez's YouTube channel. And now I'm just doodling to fill up the empty space. Here I have more leftover paints. This time I use it to practice brush strokes. I have a Princeton dagger brush that I rarely use because I don't know how to use it. So I use this opportunity to really try it out. As you can see, I still need a lot of practice. I also practice using this Princeton Select Petite Angular shader. The size is 1/8 of an inch. It was easy to make a bunch of small leaves with this brush. Here I tried my hand on making some geometric painting, and I got this idea from Willa Wonders on YouTube. I will link all the channels that I mentioned in the description below. Do check them out. With all the leftover paints, you can do a lot with it. Don't just wash it immediately. You can practice your stroke, you practice some motifs, or you can do mark making like this one, and or practice your strokes like this one. I was practicing using the dagger brush, still not adept with this. Like this one also, I mean, I've been using any scrap paper lying around, even the small notebook that this small notebook, painting notebook that I have here. I just scroll some things using the leftover purple. This is the leftover green. Testing my liner brush, and then maybe do some geometric art like this one. Fill up your sketchbook. So a lot of things that you can do with the leftover paints. Here's the overview of my completed mixing chart. It's tedious and it took a long time. I mean, for me, literally weeks, and a lot of washing of the palettes, but I'm glad I did this. I was always curious about the mixes that I can get from my paints, and now I know. For the next video, I'm going to finally make my selections. Do join me in that process. Subscribe to the channel and select all notifications if you want to see what I pick for my go-to palette. And so see me in the next video. Bye.